still get pills. I'm aiming for weeks, so I'm aiming to kill. Set up in the men's, don't give a fuck, you can still get drilled. All I wanna do is crush that porn. My niggas them told me make peace before you go to war. I said fuck that, I wanna drill now and then drill some more. Smoke my man in the face, yeah that point got scored. Couldn't give a toss about law. Niggas no CP. More time if it was done by the 7, it was done by me. I ride for my G's, put my heart on the streets. So if you see me, that's not my G's. So chat tough and I'm spinning round. Ask the ops how that spinner sounds. When I spin the banks, try and know that's a nigga down. And where I'm from, we always know to keep things around. All the risks that the team be taking. That's why my nigga Nero's money.
Salute all. We've got in the house. Nobody. Well, let's go live. I thought I'd go live anyway. Excuse me. Hope you all got out there anyway. Just thought I'd go live for an hour. Just chop up a bit of boxing because I've not been on here for a few weeks. A couple of fights have happened since I was last on here. There's a few topics, not many, but there's a few topics I want to talk about. I'm going to start with talking about Joe Joyce's fight from a couple of weeks ago because I've not had a chance to talk about it. I watched the fight against Hammer. What he needs to tighten up his defence. I like Joe. I think he's very underrated. Where does he go from here? I have heard talk of him fighting Daniel Dubois again, which I think is absolutely pointless. There's no point in that at all because he's already beat him. Let Daniel do his own thing. Maybe somewhere down the line, yeah, rematch. But I still think that Daniel Dubois is progressing. But Joe Joyce, yeah, I like Joe. I think he's a good fighter. But he can't keep going on as if his jaw's not going to come to an end because when he steps it up, it will. Hey up, Ty. Salute to you, bro. If you want to get on, you know you're welcome. L-Dub, salute to you, brother. I hope you're good out there. If anyone wants to get on, just let me know. I'll shoot you a link. But yeah, just quickly to wrap it up about Joe Joyce. Yeah, I think he's a good fighter, but he needs to tighten up that defence now. Joe does because he's going to start fighting better opponents. You can't go on forever living off the basis of your chin's not going to foot crack one day because it will do once you start getting in with the hard hitters like AJ, Wilder, people like that, even Tyson Fury. But yeah, I was impressed with him. Just good to see him back after his injury. I was just glad to see Joe back. I like Joe because he's not in the media and all that. What's he saying? Effing computers updating. Yeah, no worries, Ty. Well, if you want to get on, you know. Once it's updated, if you want to jump on, I'm not going to be on for ages. I'm going to an hour and maybe an hour and a half. So if you want to get on, or you L-Dub, you know you're welcome anytime, bro. So yeah, that was the fight. What I just wanted to talk about. Excuse me. So cracking on to Derek last week. Oh, Del boy. What's he put? No, I was joking, lol. What are you on about, Ty? What are you joking about your computer? I don't know. Well, whatever. If you want to get on, just say yeah or nay. Gone off course now. What I was talking about? Yeah, Derek last week with Pulev. I scored it a draw. I had it 6 rounds apiece, but either way, Derek got the win. It was a lot better performance than when I watched him against Joseph Parker. In that fight, he looked like he'd really come to an end. Uh, I was quoted. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. You're taking the mic. Hey, do you know what, Tyrone? I updated the damn thing because it had another update since I was last on here. So I updated the damn thing before I went live. I'm not having that after what happened to me last time. That took the mic, that did. Started updating and everything went all weird on me whilst I was live. But yeah, Derek Chisora calling out Wilder. Shout out to Mo Boxing. He did a live. Mo, I jumped on Mo's live last week. I still stick by me guns. Send the link. I'll be on for a bit. Yeah, all right. I'll invite you now. Gmail. Just one sec, Ty. Let's get you up. Get your details. Sent it now, Ty. So you should get that any minute. Yeah, I was watching Derek, and like I say, Mo let me on his live. I still stick by what I said. I don't want to see Derek Chisora fight somebody like Wilder because I just think if he gets it, I think it's game over for him. I like Del. Got a lot of time for the bloke. He's got a great resume of fighters. You know, he's fought everyone. Yeah, he's lost. Is it 12 times or 11 times? But hats off to the guy. He's always wanting to fight. But I'm just thinking. I shouldn't. I mean, I'm just thinking of his safety. Me, I don't want him. He's got two young daughters and a wife, and that. I do. I would like to see him again. I said last week I don't want to see him again, but I would like to see him again. But I wouldn't want to see him in with a dangerous hitter like that because I just think it'd be curtains for him. Because there was at one stage Pulev caught him, and I think it was round 8, and his legs buckled. But fair play to him, he weathered the storm and he cracked on. But I've seen today that Shelley Finkel's come out and said they're not interested in fighting him. They're looking at fighting the winner between not Wilder, between AJ and Usyk if they possibly can make it. If they don't fight Tyson Fury. But yeah, Del boy keeps going, don't he? When you write him off, he keeps coming. The man keeps coming back. But fair play to Del. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it as well. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot better performance than the Josie Parker performance. That fight to me showed that he was finished because he had no legs in that fight. But this fight, he seemed like he still had a bit in the tank. Wait for Ty come on, but I'll jump onto the subject anyway. Right, oh he's here, bang on time. What you do, Ty? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You good? You sound a bit quiet.
I'll probably head to the gym in like 45 minutes, maybe in an hour. So
yeah, I'm only going to be on here an hour, Ty. An hour.
I have some weightlifting questions to ask you as well. I don't mean change the subject, but
yeah. Well, ask me that towards the end then.
Yeah.
So, Ty, you seen the Derek Chisora fight last week? What did you think, pal?
I mean, I was talking to Watcher about this behind the scenes. I said, these guys, they're coming overseas and they're not going to be done any favors, right, by the judges. I had it a draw.
I did too.
I actually did I have it a draw? It was close. I think I had Pulev at one point. It was close. It was a close fight. It could have gone either way, but the thing was, it was between Chisora's big shots and staying on the ropes, and Pulev just not putting that oomph, putting stuff together. He's just okay with
Yeah,
the ones and twos and the glancing blows. So it same thing like Catterall kind of start fighting on the back foot and ones and twos,
yeah,
or just walking people down without throwing punches like Bacoli did. Those three styles is basically like giving giving the hold up weapon to the robber and asking why you're being robbed.
yeah,
You're giving them the gun to rob you, sort of a
yeah.
thing. It,
Do you, do you think though? Do you think that because Derek was banging away to the body all night? Do you think that slowed Pulev down? Because
mm,
I do. Because I think I'll tell you the reason why I'm saying that. Because I think in the first few rounds, I don't think Pulev was trying to get off on his jab, wanted to keep Derek at distance, and I think because Derek was boxing him close and kept obviously banging away at his body, I think later on it sort of slowed him down. I think so.
uh, yeah, maybe it got to him in the later rounds. I think
Yeah, yeah,
in the mid rounds, I thought Pulev was picking it up, but just again, I mean, these guys, they're not. I don't know.
yeah. I definitely still stick by that what I said. I don't want to see him face Wilder. I think Eddie Earn. I don't know what's going on with Eddie. He just seems to want to chuck anyone in with anyone.
Yeah.
Me, I think if he fights Wilder, I think he could be the first black man put on the moon. I just think it's stupid. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that Wilder's still got something left, or I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't. I don't think he should be fighting someone like that.
Well, I thought they should. I said on Moe's, I think they should both retire.
Probably so. Yeah. Wilder ain't getting no younger. Is he? What's he? 37, 38?
Yeah, he must have turned 37. He's 38 next year. I mean, geez, I'm not into this whole heavyweights mature nonsense. I'm into genetics, biology, and then the one-off Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I know. I mean, if your name is not Hopkins, you're physically you're out of your prime. Like at 33, you're like you're shot to shit. Like you're
yeah.
gone. And let's be
Hopkins
honest.
was a one-off, wasn't he?
You watch powerlifting, right?
Yeah, he was a one-off.
You
Yeah,
watch powerlifting, right? Why does the IPF have a masters division above? That's for older people above 38. Why don't they compete in the open? Because they're old as fuck. It's called a masters division.
for a reason.
I
Yeah,
mean, let's stop going against biology.
yeah.
Let's stop going against. I mean,
I
George
just,
Foreman looked bad. I mean, Larry Holmes looked bad in their comebacks. Did you see
yeah,
Larry
yeah,
Holmes all shriveled up against Ray Mercer? He won, but that's just because of the division was bad. Like the guys, Jerry Cooney. I mean, God, you know what I mean?
yeah. I just don't think it should happen. I don't know. But Derek wants to just keep fighting on, doesn't he? I mean, Mo was saying he wants to see him out of there, but for me, I like Dell. I've got a lot of time for the guy, and I don't want to see him get hurt. I mean, people might think who are you to be concerned about? I mean, end of the day, I don't want to see any fight get hurt in the ring or out the ring because end of the day, they entertain us. But
Yeah, I mean, I see people play back knockouts, but do you see me like get up? I was, oh my god, look at that knockout! Like that's not cool. I mean, I have some pictures in my avatar, but
yeah,
they're
that's
not
nothing.
nice. I mean, even when Fury was put out, he that didn't look cool. I mean, nobody wants to be put up like that. I mean, nobody
No,
wants that stuff to happen to them. So you
mm-mm.
don't want to be on a boxing scene article saying
No,
that you got
no,
crushed in a round.
no, not like that.
No.
So, do you want to move on to the next subject?
Yeah, sure.
Right, let's, because this is similar along the lines for me. This Conor Ben and Chris Eubanks Jr. Now, I just want to quickly talk about
Mhm.
this, and I'll hear your side. This to me, it frustrates me this because
Yeah,
it's two fighters who have got a talent, but to me
in their mind.
they seem like they don't want to pursue it properly. You've got Eubanks who's just messed around fighting. You know, he's been in with some good fighters, and you know he's beaten ex champions and stuff like that, like De Gale and Arthur Abrams. But I mean, Chris Eubanks Jr. should have been fighting elite fighters. Do you know what I mean? What? Why would you want to? I mean, apart from money, obviously, but
Money.
why? I can't, for the life of me, just looking at Chris Eubanks' side. Why would you want to fight this guy who's like weight divisions smaller than you,
Yeah, basically.
and then
Um,
and then you've got on the other flip the coin on the other side, you've got Conor Ben, who, who's who's not in my eyes is crawling his way through the welterweights. Why all of a sudden do you want to go and fight a super middleweight and then risk losing your own? Could end up seriously getting hurt.
right.
You know, if you back right, just say for instance that this fight does get made, they get in the ring right, Ty. If Eubanks absolutely steamrolls him within a few rounds, what's that gonna do to Conor Ben's confidence? Do you know what I mean? Will he become gun shy after getting knocked out? Because it does happen to fighters. I mean, you've only
Like
got to
Kell
look at
Brook.
Broner and AJ. They seem like they don't want to let their hands go. They're scared of getting hit. So what I'm trying to say is, why would you want to do that? This to me is just a money spin off. And Eddie Hearn, in my eyes, if he's got any concerns about Conor Ben, he should look back to what happened to Cal Brook and
Yeah.
think, nah, this guy's way too big for you. Go on, Ty.
I mean, the nail on the head. I mean, um, this is purely money.
Yeah,
I think if that's Eubanks' intention, he should just come out and say that.
yeah,
Like a lot of other people have before. The thing with him is he's not really. Well, he's with Boxer now, I think, but before he wasn't really obligated anywhere. My thing is, where's the trajectory at middleweights? Where's the path to success? I mean, if success is money for him, that's his business.
yeah,
You leave it at that. But I mean, what it does for Mr. Ben, of course, money. But really, both of these guys, the only one who has anything, and that's just moral sort of a highlight, it would be Ben if he were to win. But
yeah,
his action is down at welterweight, and there are way too many barriers in terms of opponents for him to get to gold. I mean, we can run through a list. Can he beat Mr. Ennis? Probably not. Could he beat Ortiz?
yeah.
It's a
There's loads,
decent
isn't
fight.
there?
And if
David
Avanesian
Avanesian,
is going to
Florian
want to fight him,
Marku, Chris Kongu.
yeah, Chris Congo. Who else?
Just
You
go
said
salute,
Marco.
brother.
And then you've got, you know, Kell Brook. I mean, oh yeah, Kell Brook. I think we've got Kell
That's
Brook
who he
there.
should have fought, but
Yeah,
I heard that Cal outpriced himself. He wanted 10.
then you have who else? You have the champions,
What
of course. Like
he wanted,
it's a lot of resistance.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm a
What's up,
big
Bruce?
believer. You just salute, Bruce. If you want to get on, mate, you know you're welcome. If I'm just a big believer, you just stay in your own lane. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's,
think
it's
that is.
different if you're fighting someone just one weight above
Like
you.
if your weight class is useless, then you might as well go up. But
That's what I'm saying. But if you fight someone, especially the thing with this tie, what's it's not griping me, but what I'm thinking about is he hasn't really been tested at welterweight. You've got, like you've just said, there's now you're on to the next stage. You know, you've got your Virgil Ortiz, your Jerome Boots Ennis, you've got David Avavisian. You've got, that fighters like that. There's before you even net Keith Thurman. That's a great fight for him. He called Keith Thurman out, or he made. I seen an article a while back where he said he wanted Keith Thurman. That's a great fight for him.
Yeah,
Why are you fucking around going up to? I've heard they're gonna fight at 158, 156, or 158. So you've got to put a stone on, or
basically.
just under a stone. And Eubanks really, he's only got to come down 2 pounds lighter than where he flitters between middleweight. I know he is more at super middleweight now, but
Yeah,
he,
apparently he doesn't. He's a guy who just likes to stay lean. He's not us, We like to get big. We like our food. Sometimes, I'm about how much am I? 195. So that's like 14, like
yeah,
13, 12 or something like that right now. I mean, we like our food, but
yeah, but
he
he's a
stays
big,
around 168, so it's easy for him. So he has the advantage.
yeah, he's a big dude. We'll put it this way, right? He's got longer reach than him. He's taller than him. He's heavier than him. He hits harder than him. To me, he's been in with better fighters than him. I mean, I was looking through both of the records. When you think that Eubanks, even though he has lost fights to like Billy Joe Saunders and George Groves, the George Groves fight was a very close fight. He's beaten ex-world champions like James DeGale, Arthur Abraham. He's been in with Liam Williams, Korboff. You know, I know Liam Williams isn't a former champion, but he's a former title contender. Who really is Conor Benn's best win? I would
The
say
the
it's
baguette
probably
maker.
format. Yeah, well, yeah. Pienaar, whatever he was called,
Cedric Paynude.
Cedric Payne, yeah, the French
Yeah,
lad. Either him or Sebastian Formella. Because, I
that's
mean,
about it.
Samuel Vargas,
He
he
was
was
awful.
absolutely washed up to bits. Um, Chris Algieri, last time I saw Chris Algieri, he went life and death with Tommy Coyle.
From
And
Ho.
Tommy Coyle, eh?
From Ho.
Yeah, and I like Tommy Coyle. Though. I do like.
From
I always
Ho.
liked him because he had balls of steel. Tommy Coyle did, and he gave Algeria a real good run for his money. It nearly stopped him. Algeria's eyes were fucking completely shut.
And he
But
continued after that.
who, Tommy Coyle or
No,
Algeria?
Algieri.
Yeah, that's what I
I
mean.
mean, that's
So
ridiculous.
that's what I'm trying to say. I know Algeria is an ex-world champion, and I always give Algeria credit for beating the Siberian.
Vodnikov.
Yeah, for beating him because he was a tough lad.
Yeah, and he was
But
dropped twice in that fight, I think.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I remember that. But that's what I mean. Connor needs to sort his shit out, man. He needs to just think, you know what? Stay on. Eddie Hearn should be saying to him, listen, mate, there's a good chance of you getting hurt in this fight. I don't want, you know what I mean? If you get your face smashed in like Kel Brook did, it's all right for them promoters because they just move on to the next one. I mean, I know Connor's young and all that, and he wants to make a name for himself, but just go and make a name for yourself in the welterweight division. The welterweight division is the best division. Well, it is to me, that and the heavyweights, but the welterweights at the moment, it's got some great fights in. Keith Thurman, even Adrian Broner, they're good fights for him.
Yeah, he's fighting Adrian Broner's fighting Omar Figueroa.
Mm, I know, mate. Yeah, and Ortiz is fighting tomorrow, isn't he? He's fighting
Is he?
McKitson. I think it's tomorrow or next weekend. He's fighting very
Okay.
soon. He's fighting that Michael McKitson, is he?
Yeah, I know he's fighting him. I thought that was in August. Let me check.
It could be then. I thought it was this weekend, but yeah, it's I don't know. Kind of frustrates me really.
It is. He's fighting him August 6th.
Right. So yeah, that's what I say. I just say if Eddie Hearn puts him in with I mean I don't think the fights will. I mean Gareth A. Davies for starters is I don't believe anything he says because this is a guy who tweeted that Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury and Joshua was a done deal before Joshua even fought Usyk the first time. So I don't believe anything
Does he
what
do
he
kung
said.
fu?
Pardon?
Does he do kung fu like karate or something like that,
Who?
Mr.
Gareth
Davies?
A. Davies?
Yeah,
God knows, I ain't got a clue, mate. Don't know. Why'd you ask that?
because I saw him like do a high kick with Carl
All
Frost or
right.
something like that.
He must do then. I don't know. I don't pay the man no. I don't particularly like him, to be honest. But yeah, that's where I stand with Conor Ben. I just think he should move on. Just go and fight people in your own division. And maybe I don't know. Chris Eubank should be. He should. Why is he not fighting? I don't know. He's
At one point,
frustrating.
they were trying to line up Charlo, and he went in a
That's what I
different
mean. He
direction.
had the chat. Yeah. I know he was supposed to fight Golovkin, wasn't he? But I don't know what happened, and that's why Cal Brooks stepped up and said he'll fight him. And what happened to Cal? He got his face smashed in,
Hmm.
and then look what happened between him and Eddie. It's bad blood between both of them now. They hate one another. But me personally, would I like to see the fight? Yeah, I'd watch it, obviously, and it's an exciting fight because of past, from the fathers, but. Them two ain't the fathers. The fathers were in the same division, but I don't know. Anyway, enough about them. Let's crack on to the next subject tag. So I'm gonna razz through these because I'm not gonna be on dead long. Are you watching this tomorrow? Oh, right, and Fortuna. Are
Probably not.
you not? Have you seen the size difference between them?
Yeah,
Garcia's absolutely huge compared to Fiore. I've never seen Fortuna fight. I've heard he's a good fighter or an half decent fighter, and I put my hands up. I've never seen him fight. Is he half decent or what? I've heard a few channels say that this is going
he
to
used
be
to be.
right. I've
He
heard a
used to
few
be.
channels
He's
say that
old
this
now.
is going. Pardon?
He's too old now. He's done.
Right. How old is he? That's what I mean. I don't know nothing about the guy.
I mean, you BoxRec says 32, but look at his face.
Boxrec says what? 32. Let me
32,
shout
but
out
look
these
at his
guys.
face.
D-Ray Promotions, salute to you, bro. I
How
hope you
much
got
would
out
you
there.
guess he is?
Just one sec, mate. Just let me shout out
Yeah.
these guys. Ricky, salute to you, good brother. I hope you're good out there. What you say? I don't know because I've
So
only, like I say, I've never seen the guy fight. I've never seen nothing of him. I've just heard that. Excuse me. I've heard a few people say he's an half decent fighter, and this could be his toughest opponent. But like I say, I don't know nothing about him. And the only time I've ever seen out of him was the weigh-in yesterday.
they're
Or
catching him at the perfect time. The he's done.
right, okay.
He used
What
to
do you
be
think?
good.
Pardon?
He used to be decent. Not anymore.
Yeah. So you don't think he stands a chance?
No.
Or do you think he gets beat up?
Yeah, probably knocked out. Probably mid rounds, maybe earlier.
Yeah. Ryan Garcia's a funny dude, man. He's a funny dude. He's another one who frustrates you. I actually think he's not an half bad fighter. I just can't be dealing with all these BS on calling people out and saying that he's made fights with people and then he hasn't. And do you know what I mean? And then he's mental health and then he's back again. And I just
Yeah,
got,
like he said in Canelo, he said he was at the Canelo gym, and he said he he said one time he was crying so bad he shit himself and he left. Like just the weirdest thing. Like
yeah,
he left in tears, and nobody helped him clean
Canelo
up his
fucks him up,
shit,
didn't
and nobody helped him clean up his shit, and he left. He's just weird, and then
he? Yeah,
he's going through a crisis. Obviously, I mean the Kodo effect. I see it. I mean these guys pop up with tattoos out of nowhere.
Yeah, I've noticed that. He's come out of nowhere. I was
With
thinking that
nowhere.
yesterday, you know.
Yeah.
Where have all these tattoos all of a sudden
It's
come from?
mentally they're not there. Same thing with
Mm,
Lara. There's Landy Lara had no tattoos. And all of a sudden he gets beat up by her, and all of a sudden he has different tattoos and he's trying to be tough.
yeah,
But if that's not you before, it's not you now.
yeah.
You're not
Cotto
getting
did against Margarita, didn't he?
yeah, he got this tattoo to be tough and all that. I mean, get off the gas. Come on.
Yeah. I'll watch that tomorrow. It's on the zone. I'll watch it. I think Garcia will win then, what you're telling me.
Yeah, Fortuna
Um,
just looks old and just
yeah.
weathered.
Just need to see Garcia step up though, man. But like I say, I can't be dealing with all the call outs and all that shit, and then it don't happen. Uh, so what? Fucking hell, I've only got one subtopic left. Might as well talk about this then. You
Oh,
were I think we've
oh,
already spoke about. I've got another topic, but I think we've still got. I think that we spoke about that last time. Mo, salute to you, bro. If you want to get on, you know
absolutely.
you're welcome. But I ain't gonna be on much longer. But you're welcome to get on for if you want for a bit. Yeah, this fight then. Do you? I went back and watched
Hmm.
the press conference to this. I watched a bit of it when I finished work last week,
Yeah.
and then I've gone back and watched it again. I, Mr. Pads, salute to you, brother. Didn't even know you were there. Salute to you, Mr. Pads. Do you think? Do you think that Savannah Marshall's getting under Carissa's skin, or what? Because something's telling me that it is. I don't know the body because she kept going on about you haven't done this, you haven't done that, but she kept saying, "Yeah, but I beat you 10 years. I beat you in the Olympics and blah 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 blah." But I don't know. It's a good. I can't wait for the fight. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a great fight,
That in
and the
September.
Michaela, and the one on the undercard as well. Is it Catskill versus Alicia Vanguard or whatever she's called? How
Yeah.
foul player, salute to you, bro. Here he is, Mr. Johnson, you dusty ass. You're right, Mike. If you want, if you want to get on, bro, you can get on. Go on, Ty. What do you think then?
Um, Clarissa and
Lost listening, but
Marshall.
yeah, no worries, Mo. You're welcome. Sorry, bro.
The
Go on.
smart money is on Miss Shields, but I just thought Marsha was just so slow, dude. If she was faster, I'd pick her, but she's just kind of stuck in the mud sometimes. And I think
Yeah,
Clarissa will just try to move around and stuff. I'm not a big Shields fan at all. I don't like her punching power, obviously. I don't like
yeah,
the sound she makes when she punches. You know, I'm not really interested really in her fights.
yeah,
I like Marshall, but she's just so slow. Like if she can put her punches together a bit quicker, she get her knockouts faster. But I mean, at the end of the
yeah.
day, like
Ah,
I don't know.
yeah, I sort of see what you're saying, but I think with Savannah Marshall, I think she's sort of like and well, I've not. I'm gonna tell the truth. I haven't seen a lot of her fights, but what I have
She knocked
seen,
out the dinner woman.
she seems to me though that she likes to try and she sticks with the fighters and she moves with them. She tries to like hunt you
Yeah,
down. Or, do you know
not
what I
not.
mean?
She doesn't know how to. She just no Marshall. I don't think Marshall. A little bit, but not. She doesn't. She's so slow. She doesn't get on her bike. She
Yeah,
likes to stalk people, but she's not really cutting the ring off well. Listen, I'm not. I would. I think it'd be funny if Marshall wins. I'm not a big fan of Miss Shields at all.
yeah.
But
I
shit.
think obviously I want Savannah Marshall to win because she's British, like. But I'm not like dead patriotic like that. I just want to see a good fight. But it would be nice if she did win. I definitely think she's got the power to win. But like you say, Sif, Clarissa's very good all round natural boxer, isn't she? She's got good skills.
Yeah.
She's highly decorated. She's got a lot of experience. But someone left me a comment, a great comment. Yeah, salute to you, Poe. Hope you good out there, bro. That's Poe, my mate, Uncle Albert.
Hmm.
He's a lad who he used to work with. I hope you're good. I hope you're good, Paul. Yeah, someone left me a great comment, and they were saying, "Do you think that the hate is eating eating up Clarissa Shields?" I can't. You'd have to go back on my video, but it was a great comment what he left, like saying the hatred and because she can't let go because she got beat and all this that. But the actual comment was a really good comment because he was like it was like as if he was looking inside her. Do you know what I mean? And reading the mind. I don't know if he's like someone who reads people's minds or whatever,
Body
or body
language
language.
expert, psychologist.
Yeah, something like that. But it was a really good comment what he left because it was interesting. It was quite a long comment, but it was good how he writ it. I thought, fucking, hell, I never looked at it like that. I thought, yeah, you could be right. But it's a good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. May the best girl win, definite. Um, fucking hell, it's coming towards an end now. I think we already spoke about Yard, didn't we? Yard and Baterviev. We speak
Maybe
about that
behind the
the other
scenes,
week.
but it's goodness. This
I've,
fight.
do you know what, right, Ty? Just before you say, oh, I'm going to give Anthony Yard his props, and I hope he does fight him. And the reason why I'm saying it, at first when I heard it, I was like, nah, no chance. He shouldn't fight him. But then I thought to myself, do you know what? How many times have I thought to myself, why ain't Anthony Yard fighting someone? Okay, he fought Kovalev, and I give him credit for that because he actually went over to the lad's back garden. He come unstuck, but he gave a good go, and then he sort of like he lost to Lyndon Arthur, who he should never have lost to.
Yeah,
Okay, he revenged it, but I want to see Anthony Yard in big fights, and I actually give the lad fair credit because he might not win, but at least you can say, well, at least he's fighting someone who's one of the best fighters around at the moment. So yeah, I'm all behind him, man. I wish him good luck. Does he win? He's always got a puncher's chance, but I don't think he does. But fair play to Yard, and I do want to see Yard in big fights. What I've always wanted to see Yard versus Bevel. I think that's a good fight. But yeah, go on,
yeah.
Ty. I'm rabbiting
Like
on.
the last fight, I thought that I was banking on Joe Smith's chin, but that was
Yeah,
shocking.
oh,
I
he
mean,
blew him away.
every touch, dude. I mean, every time he was touched, he just went. And like I saw in the behind the epilogue, he went to his corner after the stoppage and he went like this. I've
Yeah,
never felt anything like it. Almost like you were hit
yeah,
by a car. I was hit myself. I said, "Man, shit, let me go up there." And I'm no fight. I'm no boxer, but everybody's saying that this guy hits like this and this. Let me feel it. He's around my size. It's have a move around or something. There's no way a human can hit as hard as these guys are saying he hits. It doesn't look like it on TV.
well, I tell you what, and I'll send you the link. I'll have to go on my library on YouTube. I watched an absolute fantastic documentary what someone had put together about Baterviev.
It was made 5 days ago.
Yeah, not so long
Yeah,
ago.
I saw the
Did you
thumbnail.
see all his amateur fights and that? How he was unlucky.
I saw the thumbnail. But no, I can look at it. I know what video
Oh,
you're talking about
it
though.
was a brilliant. Let me feel the punch. Mo's laughing at you saying, "Let me feel the punch." He
Like
must
I
get,
just want to know this the way he's punching. It doesn't. It's not fast. It's very
but
clubbing.
but it's like what Stormy said though. And you said this. What's it called? Old man punching. Old
Mm.
man punch. What was it? What he called it? What Stormy called it? Where he was saying he's not a direct. knockout artist with one punch,
He's not explosive,
but
cumulative, but
his punches like one of his punches is enough to stun you, and then the other combination of his punches are enough to finish you off, or at least knock you into all over the place, and then the next lot knock you into the middle of the next week, and then the next ones finish you off.
but
He's
my thing
obviously
is
got
this.
he's
He,
obviously got power, Ty, because he blew
yeah,
Joe Smith Jr.'s face. What you've just said was like when Golovkin hit,
Curtis Stevens.
yeah, just like that. So, and like when Lennox Lewis steamrolled bloody
Like,
Glotter, Andre Glotter,
oh yeah,
like that, blowing his eyes were like that, and he was blowing out of his arse, thinking, "What the fuck was that? What's just hit me?"
it's weird because he fought Beterbiev fought somebody called Adam Deans a while back, and that guy he literally moved up. I think he moved up to cruiserweight. I forgot what he did, but he got stomped out in like a round. It wasn't even close. But it took Beterbiev it took him like 10 or 11 rounds or 12. It took him like 12 rounds for the guy to finally go. And he hit him with the kitchen sink. He would not go. And then Joe Smith, I mean, we swore up and down that the guy had a chin.
Yeah,
And he was touched once and he just totally went.
yeah,
And then every successive one, he would go and go. And then even the last one, the uppercut, he was doing a dance and everything like that. I said, "What the hell is this?" This was his only shot. Like
yeah.
if he didn't have that, he stood no chance. And it seemed he didn't have that. He was fighting pretty poorly. I don't know.
I
He
just
had the
don't think
right
he
idea.
recovered.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
the
had a
right
shit
idea to
game
come
plan as
in.
well, didn't he, to
But
take it to him.
yeah, that's the right idea, but not. I just didn't. I didn't think that he would get hurt like that badly.
Thing is, Ty, I think there's several things what played into that fight. I think one of them was, I think Bataviev, because we all know Bataviev is a slow starter.
Yeah,
I think Bataviev obviously knows that Joe could bang. Because don't get me wrong, Joe Smith's no mug, man, and the man's got
it
heart of
seemed like
steel.
it.
And I think Bataviev obviously knew that the Joe Smith Jr. can hit hard, and he's obviously thought, you know what, I've got to start fast. I've got to get this guy out of there. That's what I think Bataviev thought, because everyone always thinks it's because he's such a naturally slow starter, and he picks the pace up as he goes on, as the rounds go on. I think he's surprised Joe Smith Jr. But I think, do you know what, I'll take the fight to you. And I think the other thing is as well, Ty. I think like you've just mentioned, Joe Smith Jr. got the tactics completely wrong to stand there and try and trade with him. He should have just tried to box him, like how he
Well,
did against Bivol. He had good success against Bivol. He should have used his jab. He's got long arse arms.
but he
Get
doesn't have the skill. His thing is to stalk, and
I
thought
know.
that if
Yeah,
he
I
had
understand that, but
the chin, maybe he could put something together. But I mean, it just looked awful. I mean, he got like it was like he didn't. It's like he's never taken a punch in his life. I don't know what happened.
but the thing is, Ty, this is what I'm trying to say to you, bro. The thing is, right? Some of these fighters, look at Amir Khan. He's a prime example, right, of what I'm trying to say. Some of these fighters, right, when because they're so proud, when when they get hit, right, they 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 can't let it go. They think Amir Khan was the same, right? When he used to
You have to
get
get back.
clipped, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Instead of going on the defensive and boxing off the back foot or keeping his fighter at bay, just try and survive, clear your head, and then just box. He would do this stupid thing of, oh, you've just knocked me down. Fuck this, let's fucking go for it. And then he'd end up getting knocked out. What's my put? Where's my frigging link? Well, you're the one who's pissing around, Mike. I told you ages ago I'll send you one Because I ain't going to be on here all night, Mike, but I'll send you one now. Fucking Mr. Johnson. It's always causing trouble, any Mr. Johnson. Where are you, dusty ass ninja? There you are. Right, sending it now, Mike. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, Ty. Some of these fighters, and I think that's what happened to Joe when he got clipped and knocked down. He never, he just automatically just went on like a destructive mode of thinking, right, fuck this.
You think he
Hit me.
kamikaze?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Kamikaze.
Yeah,
So,
you've knocked me down, I'll fucking knock you down. But Bativia,
shitter bus.
Mike, you alright, bro?
Would you say?
Yeah, man. Had to fucking watch me cocking stones. You gonna fucking call me all kind of names. I ain't want to be on no fucking live, lathering myself up with lotion and
How
shit.
the fucking hell did I know you were in the shower? You're getting that dust off your
lather
face.
myself up while I'm on a live with a bunch of men's.
You're
Well,
washing
like
that
Tyson
dust
Fury?
off your face, Mr. Johnson.
Hold up.
Yeah, so anyway, that's where Joe went wrong. And I don't know.
Now I think Joe went wrong, but like kind of like what Tyrone said, but he had no. I don't think he had any business trying to exchange with him in the inside, but in those moments of exchanges in the inside, he had no choice. He had no choice. It's like Bivol was not going to sit there on the outside all day. He had no matter if you're dancing down the ring and
But he would have lasted longer though, Mike.
Outbox the guy. At some point, you're gonna have to fight in the inside, and that's just the way boxing is. It's not gonna be like the whole fight or whatever. But as soon as he clipped him that first time, it pretty much his whole game plan went out the window, and he went in attack mode and he tried to get his get back, and he ended up landing on his back.
Yeah, but Mike, that's what I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying, Mike. Yeah, definitely. But the thing is, I think he helped himself to get knocked out as well, because I don't think he needed to go toe to toe with him straight away, Mike.
Yeah,
maybe at some point he would have had to a couple of rounds down the line, yeah. But after getting clipped straight away, and then when he walked back to the corner, his flipping legs were all over the show. And then when the ref, the bell actually saved him that round, because when the ref said, right, go again, he ran right across the ring at him. And just as he ran and got towards Batavia, the bell rang. And then as soon as after the break and the bell rang again, he did the same, he come out. He should have just tried to clear his head for at least a couple of rounds. And then, like you say, maybe you have to go toe to toe with him.
I think his skill set is in that. Like, he's not an out and out guy.
There you go, Tyrone. There you go.
His thing is to come in tight, hope his chin holds up, which I thought it would. I thought he could take a couple of his shots and catch him, on the inside with something like Mr. Johnson did. Not you, Mike, the white version of you, Callum.
Oh, yeah.
That was his thing, and it just turns out, he was touched once in the top of the head.
Yeah,
had it not even been on the top of the head, had it been his face or something, uppercut or something, I think he would have got hurt as well, because it just didn't seem like his punch resistance may have not been what we thought it was, or Beterbiev punches much harder than everybody thinks. I think the truth is
could be a bit, yeah.
I think the truth,
both.
Yeah, in the middle, yeah.
Who do you think wins, Bivol or Beterbiev?
Mr. Bivol.
Yeah, I think Bivol has the best chance. I think Bivol's defense is underrated, and I think that his ability to cover down distance is underrated as well. It's just not as powered. And then not only that, he seems to possess a decent chin, but we ain't seen him. Let's see how he reacts when Bivol catches him clean.
Beterbiev, do you mean?
Yeah, when Batavia, if let's see how Bivol, I'm sorry, let's see how Berteria reacts when Bivol catches him clean. But then again, when Bivol catches him clean and he knows he's going up against a puncher, he's gonna let off the gas and let the guy come back into the fight.
Do you know what, Mike? I can't make my mind up over this because well, you know me. I tell you all the time. Andrew 100, salute to you.
So Laws, I think it was you and Tyrone that got me looking at Bivol.
Yeah,
Marku.
Yeah, well, that's the thing because I always thought I'd seen little snippets of Bivol and I thought, nah, he ain't that good. What everyone's talking about him, and I've obviously watched Baterviev, and you know, me and Ty have talked about him ages ago when he beat Volstick, and before that fight, I think it was only me and Ty who said he had beat Volstick, but
I think you were up in the air about it. Or I forgot.
No, because I said to Brooklyn Child he'll beat Volstick, and he was adamant that he wouldn't.
I said he would stop him as well. Yeah.
I said,
I remember that. But
anyway,
Brooklyn had to pick Volstick because he did an interview with him.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say to you is, can't get my words out. I have watched Bivol the three fights before the fight with Canelo, and I thought this guy. I did a video on him and said he's a fucking decent fighter. This fella, he's a good fighter. Anyway, since then, and I was saying a couple of weeks ago, I think Bivol will probably school Baterviev. I don't think he'll stop him, but I think he could outclass him and outschool him. But then you just watch when you say stuff like that. And then the same day, Baterviev just comes out and blows Joe Smith Jr. away like that. And I mean, I know styles make fights, but he did 12 rounds with Bivol, and Baterviev just blows him out the fucking water. So I don't know. I'm not too sure about that.
Well,
I don't know. I'm on the fence on that one.
My thing with Canelo is like he not once when he fought Bivol did he ever bite down on his gum shield. Not one. The whole was content on catching him with one shot. And now that we see that Bivol could get around the ring a bit and move around, I think that I think in this fight, if they actually fight, I think Bivol's gonna catch him, and I think Bivol's gonna catch Baterviev too, because those two guys are just, to me, there's nothing really special about them. It's just that Bivol has the more grit. I'm sorry, Baterviev has the grit, but Bivol just has the finesse. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing special about neither one of those guys, and just like Canelo, I was telling folks that Canelo really, to tell you the truth, ain't really all that. Like, look at all the guys he fought in, they were purposely lined up so he can get the outcome. Daniel Jacobs never once in that
fight down on his with you, Mike, because I think Bivol's he's a good operator.
Like, you can't go into a boxing match and then just assume that somebody's just going to fucking sit there and just let you fucking swing on them. You know what I'm saying? And you can't go into a boxing match like fucking Daniel Jacobs did and not bite down on your gum shield and give it to the guys. Like, it's and one of those things is like, you can sit back and wait and hope that you get the decision that you want, or you could take it. And I think that's going to be the major part of that fight. Who's going to take it? Because you can't just dance around the ring and land a few punches when this other guy is showing the active aggression, and then the judges might just be like, "Whoa, he's showing the active aggression. He's throwing a whole bunch of punches and he's landing a few. So I'm just going to give him the round." And you see it in some of these fights.
Yeah,
like the active aggressor barely lands any punches, and he wins the round because both fighters are not content and giving a a so-called bona fide offensive fight.
Thing is, so I agree. Danny Jacobs left that well too late, though, didn't he, in that fight
Yeah.
against Canelo?
I have a question for y'all. Do y'all think that judges even score defensive abilities?
No.
Probably
Being
not.
honest with you.
Probably aggression
aggression.
or punches what landed.
Nowadays, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Go on, Mike. Yeah, I'll jump on.
But y'all see what I'm saying? Like you can't. And I think me and Tyrone kind of talked about this last live stream when some of these guys just get in there and they just content on
doing the bare minimum in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
did any of you watch the fight last week with Del Boy and I think Ty did, because we already spoke about it, but Derek Chisora and Pulev.
I watched some of it. It was nothing special to me.
Did you?
It was nothing
I was just going on scorecards. What you were saying. Did you see David A's scorecards for Chisora?
That screams bet.
Oh my God!
Did you see it, Tyrone?
Yeah.
Did you see the amount of rimming that David A was doing?
He had him 9-3 or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, it was embarrassing. Derek's doing this, Derek's doing that. I was like, Tony Bellew was. I scored it.
Better. Bellew, to be honest, to be fair, was better. I think he scored.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even Bellew come out and said, like, because David A, one of the commentators said, well, Tony Bellew's got a draw at the moment. I think it was round 11.
Yeah, he had a draw.
And David A goes, well, don't know what fight he's watching, but the one I'm watching, Derek's miles ahead. And I was like, no, he isn't, man. He isn't.
Well, and the thing is, at the end of the day, when the Mike was saying we were talking about it, and they raise these guys' hands, and like let's look at Yoka, another example of one of the styles I'm talking about. He was up well in the fight. He had him hurt, but he was just stalking him, like Mike just said. Mike said this exact thing just now, that they do the aggression and they're not putting punches together, sort of a thing.
So because you can
all
miss
of a sudden, they read a scorecard 94-94, and a draw, and Bacoli does the dick sucking lips face.
Yeah.
Mouth wide open.
I was watching the video.
But how can you be surprised knowing that these things happen over there? That's what we're saying. You've got to listen. If you are cursed to be fucking Chris Algieri or fucking Sonny Edwards or Charlie Edwards, guys who have no power in their fists, I feel really, really sorry for you. But for the general population, you have to work on putting together a knockout or getting the ref to stop it. If you can't punch, get the ref to stop it. Just push him to the corner and flurry or whatever. And the ref will stop
that's happening everywhere, though.
Yeah,
now.
Jack Reese will stop it.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Well, let's put it like this: like, if it's soccer, snooker, baseball, basketball, football, rugby, cricket. You never want to put the hands in the game into your defense. You want to put the hands in the game into your offense, your ability to score every single chance you get. You know what I'm saying? And and just like boxing, you want to put it in your offense abilities, because you never want the fight to go to the scorecard.
No, yeah.
Because you see two guys the ref. I mean, you'll see the ref hold both of their hands, and then you look at the fighters, and they got this look like, ooh, I don't know if I got this or not, but I'm gonna smile and act like I got the fight. But you can see that clearly that in most fights there's this oh shit, I don't know if they're gonna give it to me. I think I won.
Yeah,
I know I won. My trainers are saying I won. The crowd is saying I won. But like, you feel me?
yeah. But Mike, you can see why there is biasness in boxing though. When you get clowns like David A with hilarious scorecards like that.
I think
You,
David Hayes.
you can know what I'm trying to say, Mike. You can sort of see why there is biasness with judges. Like the Jack Catterall fight, judges scoring that to Josh Taylor.
I think David Hayes knew this fight was shit, and I just think that he did his best to just try to say
No,
some outlandish ass shit. Because no way
well,
in hell,
do
no
you
way
know?
in hell, I would think that somebody in David Hayes' stature, at the height of his career, knowing boxing, would believe that this guy won. I just think that there was I just think that he was just saying the most idiotic shit that he could fucking say to spice it up. Because what else was you gonna say in the fight? You couldn't say anything about the fight as a commentator, but critique what the hell those fighters were doing wrong in the ring.
Well, yeah, I agree, Mike. And I also think I was also think he was doing it is to try and hype Chisora up, like because a lot of people, because even in like some of the press conference, even Eddie Hearn was saying, I've seen Eddie in some of his interviews was saying it's make or break because now Eddie's not daft. He knows when the public are getting on to like, oh, you know what I mean? Enough's enough now.
Shit
And
is
I
right.
think was what I think he was doing it to try and boost like Chisora to keep him going because if you watch before the fight, every time he was interviewed or talking about Chisora, it was like as if Chisora had never lost a fight in his life. It was, oh yeah, Derek's done this. You know what I mean. He's faster than a bullet. He's training well now. He's telling you the same shit what he told you when he was training him himself. I
Mhm.
don't know. I know one thing. Canvas put in the WhatsApp group. He put is what is David A on, and I couldn't listen to it anymore. I had to turn the volume down because it was that cringy and that embarrassing. It was like fucking hell. Get your tongue from up Derek's fucking backside, man. How
And
far?
win or lose, like I put it to you like this: it wasn't no make or motherfucking break for for Del Boy.
Derek? Yeah.
I seriously believe at the end of the day, Edward Hearn was still gonna put him in another fucking fight. You
Yeah,
know,
he probably would, Mike. He
like,
probably would.
ain't no problem because Edward Hearn knows now well that when you have
Derek sells, don't he?
you got Jared Anderson, you got the coffee guy, you got the other guy, you got Nathan Gorman, you got
Yeah.
Tyson Fury, Tommy Fury, you got Martin Bacoli, you got all these other guys that he knows that he could put them in there and just make Jared Chisora the stepping stone. And he knows it. It wasn't no make or break. That was just him running his motherfucking mouth.
I know. Well,
Because I put it to you like this. He was going to put that motherfucker in there till he had no more wheels. Until all the
Mike,
little sockets in his head was fucked up, he was going to keep putting them in the ring.
Mike, that's Mike. Bang on, fucking bang on, Mike. That's the problem. What I've been trying to say for the last 2 years about Derek. Whenever I speak about Dell, people must think I hate the man. I've got nothing but love for Derek Chisora. I like Derek. He's a fucking lad's lad. He never shies away from a fight. Okay, he's lost 11 or 12 fights, but his resume is fucking bang on. He's fought everyone. He's a bit like Porter. He's never ducked away from a fight. But the thing is, Derek, man, as a fan, I don't want to see anything happen to Derek Chisora. I don't want to see him as a cabbage or a mong. He's got two beautiful daughters there. He's got, you know what I mean? But But that's the thing. What I fucking hate about Eddie Hearn, he keeps wheeling him out. And like you say, the thing is with Eddie, right, Mike? He knows that Derek sells. He sells. He puts bums on the seats. Derek will always fucking sell because people over here love him. So they will pay to go and watch him because they know that he's always in an exciting fight, or they know what Dell's all about. But the thing is this is my gripe with Eddie Hearn. It's the same thing what I was talking to Ty about that. That's a total mismatch, Mike. If you care about your fighters, why are you putting a welterweight fighter who's not proven or not been tested in with a season, not the best super middleweight, but someone who's fought a couple of world champions and beaten former world champions, and who was bigger, stronger, longer reach, hits harder. You can't tell me that you care about fighters when you're putting them in with that. This isn't one division heavier. He's fucking 3 divisions heavier than him.
It was money, and you know, in boxing, when you start thinking about, see, Dana White doesn't care about none of them dudes' health either. The thing with Dana White, he won't say that he don't want to be liable. You know what I'm saying? Because all that stuff has to go through them. They're part of the vetting process when it comes through with fighters getting cleared. And they don't want to be liable. You know what I'm saying? For getting sued for somebody getting killed in the ring or outside the ring later on in the hospital. Boxing is one of those sports is to where only thing they do is just send the shit to the commission, and the commission's like, oh yeah, you're good. They passed you. Because look at how old Bernard Hopkins was. And you couldn't tell me that at that age you could still take a punch like you was fucking 20, 30 years old. It ain't fucking happening. Yeah. You know, that's genetics, and it's an anomaly when you see stuff like George Foreman. It's an anomaly. It's not. That's the reason why the whole lead up with a lot of Bernard Hopkins fights, and that it was based off of his medical fucking his medical points, as far as the doctor clearing him, the doctor talking about his cognitive abilities and all that other stuff. And boxing, you could keep putting the motherfucker in there until he died, and nobody can fucking sue you because they can't, because the liability is out of their hands. It's out of the promoter's hands.
Derek Bailey, salute to you, brother. Sorry, Mike. I'm just saying salute to Derek Bailey. Yeah. Bang on, Mike. No fuckers liable, are they, bro? Mike, no. Listen, I'm sorry to butt in, I'll jump back out. If he puts, like, just say, for instance, this is what I just said to Tyrone. If he puts Conor Benn in with Chris Eubanks, right, and Eubanks fucking smashes him, absolutely does a number on him, that's just say if he doesn't like do any damage, but he knocks him out, that's gonna fucking dent that lad's fucking confidence and everything. So what's he gonna do when he steps back down to fucking welterweight? Will he freeze like Broner did or AJ?
Well, laws is like they have matchmakers. You know what I'm saying? And these matchmakers, they specialty is getting training partners, getting trainers, you know, building fighters, and stuff like that. And when you look at like check this out, look at Tank Davis. They built Rolly Romero around Tank Davis. They building Ryan Garcia around Tank Davis. The same way Mayweather did a lot of his fights. They built fighters around Mayweather, and then they knocked him down and gave the fans a false of reality that these guys actually have a fucking chance.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And so the same thing with Ben. They're gonna fucking sit up over here. They're gonna say he's this and the third, build him around Chris Eubank. You see what I'm saying? and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this shit.
totally agree,
They
Mike.
knew.
Totally agree.
They knew. They knew. Oh boy, had no business in there. Anthony Yarn had no business in there with Kovalev, but they still did it anyway. They knew he was young and dumb and full of cum and just looking at the money. They knew he should never been in there with that dude, but they still did it anyway because they what you call that thing? They pocket.
Yeah, but yeah, but you, yeah,
They
but you
gambled.
think
They gambled.
fingers, oh, Mike. Yeah, I can sort of see where you're coming from because fucking Anthony Yard's trainer's a bell end, and he'd never had Yard on the fucking bag and shit like that. But I mean, this is a total fucking completely different scenario, Mike, because this is a young lad who's never been fucking tested in his own division, going up against someone who's three divisions heavier than him, who's been around longer than him, and has knocked out fucking people bigger than him,
Well,
and been in with ex world champions, lost some, but beaten ex world champions as well.
well, Long. This is I kind of see it as the same thing, but I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that even when you said it like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew this fight was going to happen.
Yes,
You
yes.
see what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so
I understand that.
they do settle things, and they build each other around each other. Then they give you a false security that somebody has, like both sides has a shot. The media is not going to tell you that. Well, you know what? He ain't fought nobody. Well, you know what? Let's look at Ben and like Edward Hearn likes to say about a lot of fighters, which I think is fucked up. He's domestic. He's a domestic British fighter. You know what I'm saying? Which I think that's fucked up because you downplay a lot of fighters when you say that. You know what I'm saying?
There.
And,
yeah, well, yeah, go on, my bad.
And now when you go in this fight, like you said, if Ben gets knocked out, because look at him. Look who he fought last time. The motherfucker came out with Conrad Smith talking about dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I am dangerous.
Chris Van Erden, a bin man who had been out of the ring for 3 years.
Yeah. And then he cleans his fucking clock. And everybody talks about how magnificent the knockout was.
Exactly.
The crowd goes wild. And everybody forgets where the fucking guy that's laying on the canvas came from.
Yeah.
He came from underneath the fucking ring.
Mike, bro, this is what I fucking hate about boxing. This is why, Mike, this is what I get so angry, right? Because, I mean, people might say to me, who the fuck are you? What do you care about their fucking life? They don't know you and shit like that. I know that. Conor Ben don't know me from Adam. Neither does fucking Cal Brook or anyone like that. But me as a boxing fan, the last thing I ever want to see is someone fucking slumped down on the floor or someone ending up like Paul Gerald McClellan or other boxers who have died or end up a cabbage. And it's all because of fucking greed. Now, I was on Facebook reading an Into a Boxing website, right, Mike? It's called Into a Boxing. And there was people on there, loads of people saying, total mismatch, a fucking joke. No, I like Conor Ben, got mad respect for him, but you're taking this too far. And then you've got the casuals or the damn right fucking ignorant people who just want to see the fight because they know it's Eubank Ben because of the fathers. They don't give a fuck about the fighters. But what happens, like you just said, Mike, and that's why I hate Eddie Hearn, because he comes down that category. All he thinks about, Eddie don't give a fuck about his fighters, mate. He gives a fuck about the pound note. If he, like you say, if it puts bums on seats and it makes money, I'm all for that, of course, yeah. But you've got to draw a line in the sand somewhere. And like I keep saying keep wielding on about putting Derek Chisora in with Wilder. You can't. There has to be a line drawn in the sand somewhere where you got to think about your fucking fighters. these fighters have got families, kids, little loved ones. So, do you know what I mean? It's just fucking bullshit, man. And that's why fucking people. Salute Stormy. Salute to you, bro. If you
What up,
want to, you're welcome.
what up
This
there,
is,
David?
yeah,
See
salute
you
Derek and you, Mog.
Yeah, but laws, like, put it like this: the motherfucker comes out looking good, tattoos, looks the part, muscles. You know what I'm saying? Looks the part. He's a fine young lad, right? He gets in the ring, knocks somebody out. He looked spectacular and he did it spectacular. What you know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah,
like they set up over there and they said, you know what? We're gonna put him in here with a little bit. We're gonna build both of these guys a little bit better, and then give the fans a better synopsis on what their fucking boxing abilities are.
yeah,
They,
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
doing that. They doing
yeah.
it straight off rip, like Dog said in there. Well, what belt did motherfucker have?
Exactly, Mike. That's bang
And
on about that, Moggy.
and because this is me, and it does make sense, and I think America should go back to this. The common Brit or I forget what they are out there, but so correct me if I'm wrong. The common and the British title, I think those should be stepping stones
Of course,
for you
yeah,
to
Mike.
get a
That's the old
championship
blueprint.
fight.
That's the old British way. British first, then Commonwealth, then European. If you win all three of them belts, then you go for a world title. He's
But they
never
don't
done
do it over
any
here
of
no
them.
more with that really lost. Nobody knows about no NAB or no ABC or anything like that anymore. Like
Exactly.
people get it, and they try to give them a little this and the third, but
Totally agree, Moggy.
nothing really comes from it.
Yeah.
Nothing really comes from it. You get
Yes,
some
Derek
TV
Bailey.
show or whatever the case may be. They try to put you in there with somebody, because remember back in the days when we was looking at the well, you can't count that because that was still under the WBC. I'm talking about but you know what I'm saying, Laws. It's
Well, like Derek Bailey's just said, like the old way, the US, that's the American version of the British Commonwealth and European.
yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to say. But Derek said it better. But we don't really, you don't hear nothing really about that anymore. In case, somebody like Jared Anderson, I don't know if he had it or not, but what I'm saying is he shouldn't be fighting that motherfucker when he's running his mouth like that.
Mike, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing with boxing, bro. That is the first thing. That's what I mean, Mike. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
You know how easy it probably would have been for him to get a Nathan Gorman fight over there in the UK and sell some tickets, or
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
or something somebody on that line over there in the UK and fight on somebody's undercard and get some money and get your name around like internationally. But folks are so fucking stuck on doing shit this weird way, when boxing in this day and age is not about making money in America, which there's a lot of money, or making
it used
money
to be like that though, Mike.
which there's a lot of money. But it's also, you don't hear about, okay, how much viewers was in Mexico, how much viewers was in Australia, how much was in Germany, how much was in Russia, how much was in France. You don't hear about those viewership numbers. You only hear about the viewership numbers that usually brings in the most amount of money, which is the UK and the US.
Mike, just let me say this. Just 1 second. Mike, Stormy, I've sent you a link if you won't get on, bro. I don't know if you won't get on, but you're welcome to jump on for a
Yeah,
bit.
Stormy, we don't want to hear no excuses out of your ass either.
Mike, this is right. Listen to me. Right? I'm 46 this year, right? I'm not old compared. Well, I am. Yeah, I'm an old bastard. But anyway, I'm 46 this year, right, Mike? In October. Me growing up as a kid watching boxing, right, Mike? Back in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, I can't really speak for the 70s because I was only small and I was born 76. But the 80s and 90s, me since the age of say 5, I've been watching boxing, right, Mike? The way how it was done over here was you won your titles over here. Like Derek Bailey stuff said, the American versions, yeah, I forgot what Derek's put, but I know what he means. Yeah, USBF and the NABF, that's it. Over here, how they used to do it, Mike, is they won the British, then the Commonwealth, then the European, and then they went on to fight for a world title. But a lot of British fighters over here years ago, they used to, I wouldn't say a lot, but the way how it was done was to clean up over here and then go over to America and make a name for yourself and earn big money and have the big fights. But it seems today, Mike, that these fighters, because I mean, we America is the mecca of boxing. It's where all the big fights are, where the money is. It always has been.
Whoa,
No, hang on.
The mecca of boxing, we got to say it's the UK. We could say that.
Well, yeah, but no. What I'm trying to say, Mike, the old way was that you had to become a legendary fighter. It was always known that you had to go to America and conquer America. That's just the way it was. So it might not be over there for you, but over here it was for us. To make a name, to make a real name for yourself, you had to go to America and conquer America, right? Which are not a lot of Brits have done. Some have done it, some haven't. But what I'm trying to say, it seems now, Mike, that's slowly being drafted away because these fighters now, because they've got the power of social media, they're calling out fucking fighters all the time saying this, that, and the third, but no one's making any fights. And now, Mike, with all this YouTube shit going on, the sport's in dire, and now you've got promoters who are willing to put fighters who were like they've never been tested, Mike, and now they're putting them in with fighters who were fucking 3-4 divisions ahead of them. I mean, Conor Benn's he's just, to me, that man's career is just all about money. It's not about making legacy, because if he was, you would have done what your old man did, win a British title, win the European, and then go on to fight for a world title. See where I'm coming at?
Can you hear me, Lars?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Okay, somebody had called, so I had to hang up real quick. I think the problem is like a lot of people said, a lot of people say, but time and time, like what they said is becoming proven, you know, and I think that they have to fix the amateurs first, you know, because a lot of those fighters are getting bad taste in their mouth for getting railroaded on decisions because of somebody is with these guys and they got all the money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And all the development for these fighters it starts before the Olympics, starts before the amateurs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah.
And I think that's the part that watered it down, because then you see all these promoters climbing over each other, looking for the next big thing out of the amateurs or the Olympics, and they're just signing loads of them. But
that sums it
they
up.
Created, they help. They either created or help facilitate or do nothing about fixing up the scoring. You see what I'm saying? And then it translates over to the profession. So if the professionals doing it, when you start reading articles about amateur boxing and shit like that in the Olympics, and you start hearing things about them wanting to take it out of the Olympics, then you start seeing the reason why they want to, because it's so fucking corrupt.
Yeah.
And nobody Nobody really wants to fucking say it, because that right there attacks the center, and nobody wants to, like, even with professional boxing, nobody wants to hear about no ring of cheating. Nobody wants to. That's been going on for years, and then get called out, and they didn't know about it, because that undermines the integrity of the sport, and that undermines the so-called ethos and ethics that they put under their belts and under their boxing commission. And so hence the reason why you can't get nowhere in boxing now if you don't sign to nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to literally sign with somebody to get all these fights. You got female fighters. I say one of them, Tara Brown. She can't get nowhere because she don't have a big backing.
Sponsor or something like
you can't say that she can't compete with the best of them. But she can't get but since she has ethics and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? They all know about it. They don't, and she don't look the part. She don't look the part as far as being marketable and able to sell because she doesn't have these big tits and this big ass and these.
That's what I mean, Mike. Yes, exactly. Well, it's like Ebony Bridges, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? She's well, right. Listen, she got beat off Shannon Courtney, right? Ebony Bridges, she's not a bad boxer, but come on, man. The only reason why you can't tell me Eddie took her after a second fight or a third fight. Why did Eddie Hearn take Ebony Bridges under his belt? I'll tell you. For simple fact, she's got massive knockers, she's a good-looking bird, she wears skimpy underwear, and she can sell. That's why. It's nothing to do with her boxing abilities. Nothing to do with that at all. Just like how Eddie mocked KSI and Paul Logan won. What was it, them? Or what? I can't remember. He mocked him, saying it's fucking ruining the game. When he's seen what the fucking numbers... Yeah, that's her, Derek, the Australian chick. I'll read you the question in a minute, Mog. That's her, yeah, the Australian chick. But once Eddie seen the numbers, because the first fight was was live on YouTube, and when Eddie seen the views, what he did, what did Eddie go and do? Second fight, bang, signed them both, because he seen the views and the numbers, the millions of views. He knew it's millions of pounds. I mean, you can't blame him for that, right? But what I'm saying is, 1 minute you're fucking dogging these YouTubers for coming into the sport, and then next thing you know, you're entertaining it. It's fucking bollocks, man. Just 1 sec, quickly.
Go ahead, Loz. Pin it up.
Loz, let me tell you everything about money these days. They don't want legacy and money. Facts, Mog, facts. Back in the day, men wanted to be the best. These days, they just want quick quids. Yeah, exactly.
Well, hear what Derek said is like what I said on Eagle Web the other day. Eagle Web's boxing the other day. You know, none of these fighters put in dues. None of them. None of them. It's always pay-per-view right away. You don't put no dues. Exactly. You know, 30, 40, sometimes 50 fights back in the days, dude. Get their first pay-per-view. Now all of a sudden it's now.
Yeah.
You know the whole game, the whole fabric of the game. And so they watched it so up that boxing fans are saying, "Oh well, you do 200,000 or you do 200,000 pay-per-view. That's a buzz and this and the third." It's not a buzz because they have to understand that the typology, which basically means that every so often, 6 months, 9 months, a year, technology changes and usually it gets cheaper, right?
Yeah.
They had the setup. They already have the satellites and everything already beamed up and all this stuff, and it doesn't cost them that much these days. Hell, the people that's setting it up now these days is cheaper now than it was back in the days because you actually really had to be a fucking technician.
Yeah.
Now you don't. Everything is automated. You plug everything in and you press a fucking button.
Exactly.
Everything was
like when you're streaming, man, you just click the fucking link and bang, you're there.
Back in the days, you had to be damn near a doctor to run this shit because everything was damn near, it was solid state and damn near pneumatic. It's so easy to go from one camera to the other. It's not even fucking funny. It's so easy to go from from the fight, even though PBC been fucking up. Let's go from the fight to the commercial.
Mike, you're absolutely bang on what you were saying about all these fighters. Now, like we were all saying, Morgan, Derek Bailey, and everyone else, these fighters don't want to put the work in, but they want fucking pay-per-view straight away. Now, Derek Chisora deserves his pay-per-views because that guy's fought. Okay, he's lost. I've mocked Derek over the years for saying why is he a pay-per-view star, but when you put it in that perspective, Mike, the man's had nearly 40 odd fights. He's been around nearly 20 years, and he's fought everyone. Okay, he hasn't won all of them, but he's fought everyone. He's been in with the best heavyweights. Do you know what I mean? There's only a small minority of fighters who he's never faced, but people like that deserve to be pay-per-view because they've put that work in. But when you've got fucking clowns who have never fucking just either living off the father's name or because they've knocked out a few bums because they're hard hitters and they've had 10 fights, 10 window cleaners and they've knocked them out, all of a sudden they start demanding fucking pay-per-views. That all this shit is the shit what's wrong with the sport of boxing. You have to, it's like anything, innit, Mike? You go in the army, bro. You don't go in the army as a fucking lieutenant or a sergeant major or a captain. You go in as a fucking private, bottom of the ranks. You're the bottom of the bottom. You've got to fucking, if you want stripes on your shoulder, you've got to fucking go and earn them stripes. And once you've earned them, then you get respect. Then people, that's how it should be. You shouldn't be, my dad was a major in the army, so all of a sudden I go in and I'm a lieutenant. Get the fuck out of here.
I give you a prime example, Laws. It's just like the music industry.
Yeah,
you know, you can have Laws. I give you one. You're not signing nobody. You all by yourself.
Yeah.
Your song has the potential to be #1 in the world. Right?
Mm.
But you don't know you don't know what to do with it. You see what I'm saying? You can put it on YouTube all you want to, but you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to get it cleared. You don't know how to get it cleared. You don't know how to get with a publishing. You don't know how to get with a publishing clearinghouse. You don't know how to get your shit on the radio. You don't know how to get your shit pushed or nothing like that. And everybody out there that's giving you a contract out there is about to give you a slave contract, and you don't want to take it, but you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to, and that's the same thing with boxing. Everybody out there wants to get money right away.
But no one
they don't want to wait for it. They don't want to earn it. I give you a prime example. Over there, Benjamin, what's his name? Benjamin Franklin or no, Jermaine Franklin. I give you a prime example. He signed to Salida Promotion, right? He signed to Salida Promotion, right?
Yeah. And go to one second.
Yeah. He signed Salida Promotion, but the problem with him is the same thing with that. He don't know how to get in where he fit in. He don't know that he made it to a certain point to where he can show everybody he belongs here. But when somebody is giving you money, when somebody has given you everything, an allowance for your bills and all this shit, and all your monthly expenses, people squander it. Because at the end of the day, you think because you was on TV a few times and you have a handful of fights that you think that everything's gonna be just fucking given to your ass. It ain't gonna be just given to your ass. You in a situation to where in heavyweight boxing to where anybody can get it, but you don't want to put the work in and find out how can you beat somebody. You just because somebody else gave it to your ass, and you think every fight's supposed to be given to you, and you can't even get in shape. See what I'm saying? You can't even get in shape. You can't even do your job, and that's what happens in a lot of these fights. You know, too many with these fighters, too many guys have been given all this shit, and they think that social media is going to save their ass. They think because they trainer and they promoter and they manager it, and these little fans out here somehow they the goods, that they supposed to just go up in here and whoop everybody's ass, but them in training and then getting in the ring don't translate. You know, your fans can't talk a good game for you to win you the fight. Your trainer can't talk a good game for you. He can boost your head up all he wants to. Jesus could do it, but Jesus still gonna tell you got to put in that work, boy. I see you, Stormy. We see you. Is your mic on, Stormy?
Yeah, my mic is on. When you gonna turn yours off, bro?
Damn! All right. You know what? I'm getting out of here.
It's like you talking about slaves and everything, man. I'm like starting to get a little hot under the collar over here.
But for real,
what's going on, man? How you brothers doing, man? How y'all doing?
That shit true. These motherfuckers don't. They want it now, but they don't want to put no work in it. But you know, look at Crawford, undisputed, and then he becomes undisputed, and then he just what?
Yeah, man. You know, I don't like the state of the game currently at all. You know,
shit. Well, good shit.
Boxing has always had its problems, but I don't know if it's ever been as bad as it is right now. I mean, it is really bad. The sport is really bad to the degree now that even quality matchups and everything can't compensate for the cloud that has just immersed the sport in the sewers, man. I've tried to find silver linings and everything, but it's tough now. It really is. It's tough.
Yeah, you don't get that many surprises like you did back in the days, and you damn for sure don't get that many good fight cards. You know, you spend $80, $75, $80 for a pay-per-view, and there's only 1 or 2 fights, and you got to wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes between. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, absolutely, man, and it's crazy.
Like if Crawford and Spence fight happens, right? Like how big that fight actually fucking means. Whether or not you know what I'm saying? Like part of people coming to watch you is the undercard.
Check this out. To your point, next Thursday I'm doing a special turning the page in boxing history. You know, that's a show I do. You know, I do it maybe once or twice a month or whatever. But next Thursday, I'm doing my show again. And this show is featuring Julio Cesar Chavez versus Frankie Randall 1, right? The first fight. But to your point of what you were just saying, this fight took place January 20th, 1994 in Las Vegas. Okay. Now, check this out, Mike and Laws D. The main event was Chavez versus Frankie Randall. But the undercard was Simon Brown versus Troy Waters in the co-main for the WBC Super Welterweight title. The fight before that was Felix Trinidad versus Hector Macho Camacho for Trinidad's IBF Welterweight Championship. And to open things up for this closed circuit card was the WBC Super Featherweight Championship between Azuma Nelson and Jesse James Leija. Is that a card or is that a card?
Yeah, I would have paid $100 for that.
That's what I'm trying to say. That was Don King. You know what I mean? Don King would put the fights on. And I don't know if you guys recall this, but a lot of times when those fights would commence at the very end, before they do the announce the decisions and whatever, he would have the PA play the OJs got to give the people what they want.
Damn.
That was what Don King used to do. People forget these things because they got so enamored with thinking that this is the norm, this is what we're going to get. But Don was the only one back then putting on those type of cons.
Stormy, didn't he have the OJs in the ring singing one time?
He may have. You know, he's done so many cards and there have been so many events, but I'm just saying that he would have the PA play that, especially if the main event ended up being a really good scrap, you know, regardless of how it ends or whatever. He'd have the PA system play the OJs, got to give the people what they want. And we got spoiled to that. Those of us who were around watching boxing back then and are still around watching it today. But man, how I yearn for those days. And what you were just talking about, that segues, you know, what I just shared, because I'm doing that show next Thursday.
What time?
8 p.m. Central. My Chavez versus Randall 1. I'm doing that turning the page in boxing history where I talk about the fight, break it down, you know, provide information like what I just did, and then, you know, call the fight as it took place.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What does closed circuit mean?
Closed circuit was just pay-per-view back then at a time when they would you had a special venue where you could go and watch the fights. A lot of times certain theaters would close off auditoriums where people could buy the fight and watch it on a big screen there in a theater or some type of auditorium or venue like that. It was just, you know, pay-per-view before pay-per-view. That's all.
You tell somebody that's 35 years old that ain't used to hearing these terms.
Yeah, but that's what closed circuit was. You know, that's pretty much what it was. But I tell you, man, a card like that was a regular card from Don King. You're talking about those were four world championship fights.
Yeah,
and nobody was complaining about their purses. Nobody was complaining about 60-40. Nobody was talking about how much I'm going to get and how much I ain't fighting unless, you know, it's this or that or whatever. They would get their butts in the ring and fight, man.
Facts, Stormy. Facts, bro. That's what I mean, Stormy. It's all changed now, hasn't it?
And it's changed for the worse, man. It's like really bad. I mean, you back then, like I said, that card was from 1994. Dude, you right now, you got a card coming up this weekend featuring Ryan Garcia against Javier Fortuna, right? But check this out.
We're just
through this whole promotion and build-up, Ryan Garcia been talking about Tank Davis and Devin Haney and other people, not the guy he fighting.
Yeah, we were on about that earlier, Stormy. Yeah, that's the problem with boxing and social media now.
These guys today, they don't even focus on the task at hand.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. A lot of times they've been told, as long as you stand upright, you're going to get the decision tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of times that kind of stuff goes on. It's behind the scenes. It's, you know, that's stuff that we're not privy to. But why else do you think these men behave like they do? Especially when they are not challenging themselves.
Yeah, exactly, Stormy. Couldn't say it any better, bro. That guy is a fucking first-rate clown. Want Tank Davis, I want fucking Devin Haney, I want this, that, I want this, that. But hang on a minute. You're not fighting anyone.
I told you, Lars.
Yeah,
I told you earlier.
You're making lies saying that and putting tweets out with pictures with you and Manny Pacquiao saying, I'm fighting Pacquiao next, it's a done deal. And then it turns out to be a complete and utter lie. Do you know, why do that? You get all the boxing fans thinking, hang on a minute, this guy's fighting Pac-Man. He's stepping up. And then it works out to be an absolute complete lie.
But Lars, I told you, like, well, I said something, I don't know if it's true or not, but I said it earlier. that, Ryan Garcia is building his base. They building his base around Tank Davis.
Of course he
If a
is.
fighter,
He's
if
using
a
other
fighter is
people's
saying,
names.
if a fighter is saying this fairy tale fight is happening next, the only reason why they're doing it is to build Ryan Garcia up. Because at that time, it was no way in hell unfeasible for that fight to happen with the level of fights that he's had and the level of his abilities that he's already had. Like what matchmaker
bang on, Michael.
What matchmaker would do that, knowing now well your fighter don't even have the experience, and not only that, you find out when he gets knocked down by
Luke
by
Campbell.
Kevin.
Yeah.
So now when you fast forward, everything around Ryan Garcia has been Tank Davis, Tank Davis, Tank Davis, Tank Davis, Tank Davis, over and over again.
Yeah.
Tank Davis has been the guy that we had many discussions about him possibly being immature, possibly not having his head in the game, getting drunk, slapping bitches up, getting in fights with dudes, lawsuit, not being dedicated like he should to the profession that he's in.
Yeah, because he was hanging around with Broner a lot, wasn't he, back then?
I don't think that had nothing to do with Broner, but I'm gonna say this.
No, I'm just saying he was hanging around with Broner, so I think he was getting a bit of that Broner effect.
I mean, Rob Easter Jr. was too. So, what I'm hitting at is there's not the same level of scrutiny for Ryan Garcia that there was for Tank Davis. You see what I'm saying? A fighter to come out here, boxing is people don't want to hear about mental health issues with basketball. Damn sure don't want to hear about that shit in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? It's either you pay or you don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? And then they find out you got CTE or you get these lawsuits later on, right? Boxing, you say you have mental health, nobody wants to touch it because nobody wants to be liable, right? And then not only that, you don't even know what the dude's talking about. He's talking about he hurt his hand, and now he's fighting for Tuna, and at the same time, like Storm B-Man said, he's talking about Tank Davis.
Yeah, he's fucking.
So what you said was essentially you gave this dude, you spoiled this guy. You gave him all this money. You helped build him up, get him all these social media followers, and make him believe that these social media followers are guys who's gonna come up there and buy your fucking fight or watch your fucking fight, and that ain't the case. And reality is sitting in because they see the numbers. And reality is sitting in because they see that he is not as skillful as what they're saying, but they can fake the phone because they can keep talking about Tank Davis for the next 3 years.
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. Like you say, totally agree. Building your career off someone else's career. Because you like you say, you're calling out people and you're not fighting them, but it's how you're selling yourself, isn't it? I mean, the Zone are terrible for that because I've been watching how they've been promoting this fight, and like Stormy said, ain't even no one even talking about this fight. It was either Stormy who said it or Tyrone. Someone said it earlier. No one's even talking about this fight. I don't know, man. Boxing's in a dark, dark place at the moment. It needs, I don't know. Like I say, sometimes I just think to myself, Loz, why'd you bother? And it's only because I love the sport that much that I talk about it. Apart from that, I wouldn't even bother. Do you know what I mean? I love talking boxing over the airwaves. I love talking to you. I love talking to Stormy, the chat, anyone, But sometimes when we talk about shit like this, it gets me mad. It gets me frustrated. Why aren't we seeing the fights, what we want to see? There's always someone holding up the division. There's always fucking promotional problems over he's fighting under that network, he fights under that network. Them two promoters don't like each other. Them two promotional companies like them two networks are competing against each other. It's fucking bullshit, man. You should be just able to, like Stormy said, back in 1994, these fights were just made. It didn't matter. There was none of this A side, B side, that side of the street, this side of the street. But that's the way it is now. That's the way it is. Listen, fellas, I'm going to have to get off.
You ain't going nowhere.
Because I've got my son over and I haven't seen him for 3 weeks. So
Yeah, tell Harvey I said what's up.
yeah, I will do. I'm going to spend some time with him. But I always tell you, Mike, when you say that, there's only one thing.
Oh, piss off!
Are you on later, Stormy?
Yeah, man. Got the Friday night chop session. I'm putting stuff together right now as we speak. Yeah.
It looks like you're doing something because you're like that. I can see you keep reaching over and you're looking like you're looking at two monitors or something.
Yeah, putting my images and stuff together for the show.
I'm gonna watch you, and I'll catch you on Sunday. I'll catch you on Sunday on your phone, and I remembered now. It's 00 for the US code.
Yeah.
00 plus. Plus 00. That's it. That's the one.
Okay.
But I might catch you on your. I'll catch you on your show later. Definitely.
Okay, that sounds cool. Sounds cool.
Yeah, I'll be in there, Stormy. Right, brothers. I'm sorry to cut it loose, but it is 21 minutes past 12 over here. I'm going to go and spend a bit of time with my son.
I hope Ryan Garcia gets knocked out.
Hey?
I hope Ryan Garcia gets knocked the fuck out.
I tell you what, Mike, if he does, it's a big dent for Oscar. Big dent for him.
Ain't a big dent for him. The only dent he got is the fucking dent in his fucking nasal cavities from all that damn cocaine. He don't care.
Right, peace to the chat. Malky,
right.
Salute to you, bro. Tyrone, Derek Bailey, everyone who come through. Stormy, an absolute pleasure. I'm sorry I wasn't on long enough. Well, I'll catch you in the chop session, Stormy. Mike, pleasure, brother.
Right on.
I'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace out. Peace.